like to call the meeting of the Mayor and Town Council of Addis to order. Can everyone please rise for the pledge? Miss Stacy, can you lead us in the pledge?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Toops.
Present.
Rusty Parrish.
Here.
Bliss Bernard. Here. Rhonda Kelly. Kevin LeBlanc.
Here.
Dustin Hebert.
Here.
Next item is minutes. Approved minutes of the July 14, 2026 regular meeting.
I read over them and I approved.
Second.
Motion by Kelly, seconded by Hebert. All in favor? All opposed? Are there any additions to the agenda? Public comments. I'll start public comments off first. We just got back from conference last week for the Louisiana Municipal Association, and this year we turned in an award from the town of Addis, and we did something a little bit different to show that communities can work together. We did a project with Addis and Blackman together, and we won our category and for technology. And actually, we have a little video that we want to show that was submitted as part of the packet.
Don Foster landed a spot in American Idol's top 3, and now he is headed home to celebrate.
Homecoming fit for a king.
You know, it's hard to put into words what it felt like to come home. To see my community come together the way they did, it's something I'll never forget.
The people from the bayou got some talent, that's all I gotta say.
When I made it to the top 3 in American Idol, I knew it wasn't just about me. It was about all of us. It was about showing the world what we can do when we stand together as a community.
And of course, here at Addis, there is only one person that we are voting for.
This was more than a concert or a parade. This was a celebration of home, of family, friends, and neighbors rolling up their sleeves to make something special happen. It was a symbol of unity, resilience, and the power of small towns doing big things. Addis and Blackman came together for something special, and in doing so, they reminded us of the incredible strength of community. Local leaders, law enforcement, fire departments, businesses, everyone played a part, and in just a few days, we put off something huge, a memory that we'll all carry with us. I stood on that stage looking out at thousands of faces, young and old, families packed together, waving signs, singing along, and it hit me. This is what it's all about. It's not just my journey, it's our journey. This is our story. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for showing up, for believing, for making me proud to call this place home. Together, we showed the world what a community can do when we lift each other up. And that's something I'll carry with me forever. Hey there, Sean Foster, American Idol runner-up and proud native of Addis, Louisiana. I want to thank you so much to all of the West Side, including Addis, Bruley, and Blackman, for making this the best day of my entire life.
So I was pretty proud of that project. So, I got chills watching again, but we've been holding on that video, and we're gonna start publicizing it shortly. Yes, we're excited to win the award and share it with the city of Blackman. There was a lot of people that was involved in that whole project, and we couldn't have done it without East Baton Rouge, Bruley, everybody. But everything really, the big things really happened here in Addis and Bruley. So what a great project. So with that, I'll open the floor up for anybody that wants to public comment on anything other than what's on the agenda. Any public comments? All right. Hearing none. Correspondence. We got the Boogie Bash on Saturday, August 3rd from 4 to 7. The band is going to be Snapper and the Fish Sticks. October, what I said?
August.
Thank you. That was fast. Well, it was good. It was so good we done missed a week. Rocket on the Railroad, our tour dates for that is Friday, October 16th with After 8. And then on Friday, November 6th, it's going to be Keith Frank. So we've got a pretty good lineup. I don't know if anybody's heard the Snap and the Fish Stick. They played in some weddings around here. They're from the Thibodeau-Homer area. They're good. After 8, they've played here before. And Keith Frank, that I got a feeling that's going to be a big show. So, also, I received an email saying that Addis is one of the top 10 places to live in Louisiana. I know we usually at the top of the list on safety, but I think we went to number 2 this year. But this year, as far as places to live, is we're number 3, and we're with some mighty big hitters: Harahan, Mandeville, Broussard, Central, Sulphur, Zachary, Covington, Youngsville, and Homer. So we the little guys, I think that's showing that we are a great place to live, and I'm pretty proud of where we live too. All right. Old business none, new business. Miss Stacy, the 2025 audit report. Taxley and Associates.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again to the mayor and the board for choosing us to perform your audit again. It's always a pleasure working here with all the town employees. Especially have to recognize Jade for all of the work that she does on the audit. She's really organized, and everything's always in its place. And we worked her to death this year because we had all of the agreed upon procedures. We had federal funds testing and audit testing, and it was a lot. And she was a trooper through it all. And I have to commend all the ladies in the office because they all help, and they're all really organized and helpful. Travis for showing Dixie around to look at the assets this year, and the police chief and his officers for letting us look at vehicles. I know that's kind of a shuffle when we come in to look at that because of shift work, but y'all make it happen, and we appreciate it. So let's get into the auditor's opinion. So on the auditor's report, these are the 4 different types of opinions that you can receive, and they're from best to worst. And of course, the town of Addis got the best. The clean opinion says it's basically us providing reasonable assurance that your financial statements are free of material misstatements. All right, so let's look next at your statement of net position. So this is your snapshot picture of all your assets and liabilities throughout the year and your net position for the end of the year. So let's take we're going to compare 2025 to 2024 and talk about increases and decreases and why those happen. And we're going to combine the general fund and the sewer fund for purposes of this schedule. So your total assets would be your first yellow highlighted number of $46.6 million. That number decreased $2.8 million during the year. And so what makes up that category is that green number, your current and other assets of $11.3 million, and your capital assets of your capital assets of $35.3 million. So your current and other assets are things like your cash and your investments, your receivables, prepaid items. That number decreased $3.9 million in 2025, and there were 2 primary reasons for that. One were litigation payments, and the other one was your ARPA funds that you were spending out of your LAMP account. Your capital assets, on the other hand, increased $1.1 million, and that was primarily due to additions this year, like police vehicles and equipment and street overlays, drainage projects, your sewer improvement project, and also just other machinery and equipment in your sewer system. So let's look down at the next number, which is your deferred outflows. So we'll take deferred outflows and deferred inflows. They're both colored the same in like a peach color. Those numbers are totally determined by an actuary. That is your pension liability adjustment that gets put on your books. An actuary determines those numbers, and we simply record them on your financial statements. So those numbers will change as your pension liability changes, and your pension liability went down during the current year. Your deferred outflows went down, and your deferred inflows went up. So that's all pretty much out of your control. That's a number that is determined for you. So if we look at your total liabilities, that would be your next yellow highlighted number of 6.5 million. That number decreased $5.3 million during the year. And I'm going to take these two little categories that make up liabilities in total because they kind of cross over each other. Your accounts payable decreased during the year, so you had projects that were ending at the end of this year. So if you compared that to 2024, you had more payables at year end. Your deferred revenue decreased, and that was basically your ARPA project. That money, when you received it, we held it in deferred revenue. We recognize it in revenue as you have expenses recorded on the project. Your accrued liabilities also decreased. That was your litigation settlement payments. Your sewer bonds payable decreased as well, and that was just due to your annual bond payment on that loan. So if we take your total assets and we subtract out your total liabilities, we come down to your net position for the year. Your net position is $40.1 million, and that number increased by $2.1 million. And that's your surplus for the year. We'll see it on the next schedule. So your next schedule is your statement of activities, and this is basically like a profit and loss statement. This is your revenues and your expenses for the year coming down to a surplus or a loss, which y'all did very well this year. Let's look at that number. We'll take the general fund separate from the sewer fund so you can see how each fund operated during the year. So your total revenues in your general fund were $6.4 million. That number decreased $1.3 million, and that was due to your sales tax revenue decreasing $1.3 million. Your expenses were $5.9 million. They decreased $4 million. And if you remember last year, there was some litigation that happened. All the expenses were recorded in 2024 when it became probable and measurable that that litigation was going to settle. And so that's the reason for the decrease this year. All of that was recognized in 2024. So if you take your revenue and you subtract out your expenses, you'll come down to the surplus for the year of $560,000. All right, let's look at your sewer fund next in blue. Let's do your blue numbers. So your revenue was $2.9 million, and your revenue increased $1 million from 2024. And the primary reason for that is that $1.6 million that's up above the second number in that column, and that was your ARPA revenue that was recognized during the year. So all of your expenses are incurred at the end of 2025. The project was ended. We put all the remaining expenses on the books. So this is the remaining revenue short the $203,000 that's being returned in unspent funds. Your other categories decreased, so your charges for services decreased and your other revenues decreased during the year. So if we go down to your expenses were $1.3 million, and that number decreased $70,000, and that was due to there were some major repairs done in 2024 and not a whole lot done in 2025. I think the focus was on the ARPA funds during this year and that project that was going on. So if you take your revenue and you subtract out your expenses, you come down to the change in net position or your surplus of $1.6 million. So I did want to point out again that $1.6 million in capital grants and contributions, that is a non-recurring revenue. Unless you have some other grant or contribution that's going to happen in 2026, you won't see this number. It will go to zero. And if you just took it out of the equation this year and said, if next year your charges for services and your other revenues and your expenses remain constant, you would have had a loss this year of $17,000 in this fund. It's not a lot, but I say it just to bring awareness to the fact that we're monitor the fund just to make sure that it can sustain itself. You know, we're seeing a lot of utility departments. I audit a lot of utility departments personally, and they've been sustaining losses over the last several years, and it's due to rising costs. So I'm just making you aware of that. Your expenses might change and your revenue may go up, and you may not have a loss in this fund, but you would have come close to it this year without that ARPA revenue. So I just wanted to point that out, just to let y'all know to stay monitoring that fund. So if we look at your combined change in net position, this is your overall surplus for the year of 2.1 million. So healthy net position, healthy change in net position, healthy surplus during the year. So well run ship. Let's look next at your slide on your schedule of findings. Okay, so you can see we test and we look for internal control deficiencies. There were no significant deficiencies, no material weaknesses in internal control, and there was no material non-compliance on the audit or the federal funds testing. So great job. Let's look at the next slide. This is going to be your agreed upon procedures for the year. And this is a mini audit. This is a lot of test work, a lot of detail. It's is it there, is it not? If it's not, you get an exception. And I just have to commend Jade. She does a fantastic job on this, staying in compliance here, and the ladies in the office. And really, I say this every year, I really just have to commend the town, because every time I come out here, there's just an attitude of integrity and a desire to do things correctly. From the board, all the mayor, the chief, all the employees, everyone just has the desire to do things correctly, and that's so important when you're dealing with internal control. I also want to commend y'all on hiring in Erickson Crentel. They are an integral part of the internal control process for the town. They keep duties segregated when you have a small accounting office. They do an independent review of financial statements. They keep up with governmental accounting standards. They close the books for us, and this saves findings for a lot of municipalities that have a small accounting office. Also, I have to commend the board, because y'all do a great job of looking at invoices and checks that are going out, and looking at financial statements, and that's crucial for keeping good controls and keeping the town out of a place where you're having findings. Do y'all have any questions about anything that I discussed?
This was a busy year as
It
far
was.
as all these audits and
Yeah.
AUPs. Cause,
Yes, it was a lot.
this was the first time we've had to do the federal audit in a long time, probably.
Right.
Because we spent, I think it's over $750,000.
It's over $1 million
Oh,
now,
million
so they
now?
upped it, but
They
you
upped it
still
to $1 million?
you still spent over $1 million
Yeah,
this
of
year.
course.
And really, it wasn't a full single audit. Like, we were able to do what they call an alternative compliance engagement, and we just had to test compliance on just a few requirements. Normally, it's the whole program, and it's a lot of testing there. So this was kind of scaled down, but still, a lot of work and a lot of invoices to look at. But you shouldn't have the agreed upon procedures next year, because you did perfectly this year. So it's a rolling 2-year, and we're in the first year, so we had to test them all. Next year, you shouldn't have to test any unless they change the rules. So again, thank y'all for letting us serve you. And if anyone looks at the audit report when you're bored and you just need to go to sleep, you want to read that big audit report, if you have any questions, please feel free to call me at the office. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. All right, thank you.
Anybody from the audience has any questions?
Thanks, Jade.
Well, thank you, Ms. Stacy.
All right.
Good job.
Thank you, Jade, and thanks to all the staff. But,
No AUPs next year.
That should be front page news. I know it's not sexy, but it's a big deal. That should be on the front page.
Tell, this is our 4th year of 0 findings, 0 anything.
and that's why we get to skip some meetings.
That's a huge deal.
Mr. Summers, if you need a good, feel-good headline, like, you missed it, Karen said, I know it's not sexy, but this is a really, like, she's seen
It is
a
a huge
lot of
deal.
municipalities.
Well, actually, this was going to be my lead anyway. I was already thinking about it.
Just wanted to put a bug in your
Oh,
ear.
yeah.
Something positive, right?
I like doing positive stories. Don't get me
Give them something to smile about.
All right, next item on the agenda is consideration of declaring the following as surplus property. John Deere flail mower, serial number ending in 3542, and some miscellaneous scrap metal, wire, and pipes. And I think probably most of that other the scrap metal and stuff is just that scrap metal, trying to get what we can with that, and then the flail mower is trying to put it on the Lamat's website and see to try to get as much bang for our bucks on it.
I don't think we ever use that thing. It looks brand new.
Yeah, it was used, that one particular one, that piece of equipment, piece of railroad iron, got entangled with it, gave us some issues with the roller and the bearing. When I did reach out, to John Deere over a year ago, and got the pricing on what it would cost versus a new one, I mean, it was within $3,000 difference. So we're gonna run it to failure, just buy a new one the following year if it goes out. And just so happened, John Deere discontinued making that particular model, so we wound up going out, getting prices, and bought a different brand style flail mower. So that one is actually damaged. The roller and the bearings are damaged on it, but you know, it'd be for somebody else. That'll be disclosed in the with Lamat's and on the surplus site. So.
Got a motion by ABAD to declare these items as surplus, seconded by Parrish. Any comments from the audience? Comments from the council? All in favor? All opposed? Engineering report. Just part of engineering report, I'll just say that we do have our the Harris Avenue drainage bid opening is tomorrow at 2 p.m. here. And then our road project is October 25th at 10 a.m. here, road bid opening. So I just want to make sure everybody knew that.
Is that August 25th, Mayor, on the road?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It is. I said October.
He's switching his months around.
Yeah. It's been a busy month. Let's just say that.
What's the date again? Halloween.
August 25th. I'm still trying to get October.
Hey, he's looking forward to Sugarfest.
Yes, yes. So, all right. Anything else, Travis?
No.
All right, planning and zoning. You should have saw the minutes from the meeting, August 4th. And as a result of it, we have an application for a home occupation. Wilbur Marquez Martinez, Landscaping Services. If you don't mind just getting up and tell them a little bit what you want to do.
I just tried to get a little property so I can.
You can come up, come up.
Yeah, I just tried to set up a little office there and keep 3 or 4 trucks right there. That's about it.
And that is that property right there on the railroad tracks.
Yes, sir. For
On
3.
my hand, that is, yeah, it is commercial property as well, so. But, it did go to the planning and zoning, and, it was, unanimous to approve the home occupation. That was their recommendation. Any question from the council?
Yeah, it's very neat around there. I could tell you're a landscaper. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Second.
Motion by LeBlanc, seconded by Kelly to approve the home occupation. All in favor? All opposed?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
And I will say that some of these home occupations and things that we got coming is from we did some homework with some other home occupations, and some people have said some people's doing businesses. So we kind of did a cross-reference with the parish revenue office against our home occupational stuff and things, and some of these were coming up that we actually sent out letters, And some of them is legit, some of them, they coming before us now, so I just wanna let y'all know that we did. So we do listen to when people have, suggestions, let's say that. So, parish council report. Police report, chief.
Good evening again, everybody. So for the activities for the month of July 2026, there was 128 citations issued, 192 calls for service, 6 misdemeanor arrests, 6 felony arrests, and 11 auto accidents that were investigated. Some of the misdemeanor arrests included DWI. There was 2 for domestic abuse battery, 1 for battery of a dating partner, 2 different resisting an officer arrest, simple battery, 2 of them, and ag assault. Some of the felony arrests included charges of unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling, 2 of them, possession of Schedule II cocaine, 1 count of felony domestic abuse battery, and 1 for domestic abuse ag assault, and a possession of a machine gun, basically a modified gun with a switch on it. And on the second page that you go to, there was the big arrest that happened in the beginning of July. There was 2 people that were charged, and some of the counts were domestic abuse, battery with child endangerment. 1 right now for second-degree murder, 1 for principal to second-degree murder, and 1 for obstruction.
So like that, possession of a machine gun, was that like on a traffic stop?
No, that was actually a domestic call, and the gun was tried to be tossed and was found. And anyway, it had one of what they call a switch on the back of a Glock that modifies the gun to fully automatic.
I watch On Patrol Live. So
Yeah, yeah.
He actually had 2. He had
Yeah.
an AR pistol that was modified as well as a handgun that was modified.
Right.
So it was a double whammy on him.
Wow.
And he stashed them where kids could get to them.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
It's a scary thing, but they're out there.
Yeah.
Very
Any
dangerous.
comments from the audience? Council.
Thank you. Thank you.
Public Works Sewer Report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council again. For the month of July, 61 residential, commercial control panel and tank issues. That's a little up with what we've seen in the past, but that's typical for this time of year in the summer. 24 collection system issues, 1 sewer plant issue at a fecal bus, and 33 dotty tickets. On the residential side, 11 jam residential pumps. 1 residential pump was replaced, 10 jams in the collection system, and we did replace another suction line at Addis Place. We had done one 2 months prior due to just corrosion. Public Works, typical grass cutting's finally slowing down in the last week, thank goodness, due to no rain. That's a great thing. A lot of trash pickup. We did do some ditch grading behind River Run Court to help with some of the runoff in the rear properties. And also we purchased and received a new flail mower that's in service now. And I didn't tell you on that, we're doing have contracted doing some tree trimming over the roadways for low hanging limbs right now. They started in the back part of Addis. They moved migrating this way to 6th Street, Harris Street, Main Street, and then we've got a few other isolated areas we're gonna put them in. So if y'all see something over the roadways I may have missed or anybody calls about, just let me know and we'll get them to attend to it by the end here. That's all I have. If y'all have any questions.
Any questions from the audience? Comments?
Yes.
Council.
Did you see a change in the garbage can issue? Because none of them were on the road up to this last pickup.
It wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
Let me say
You
that.
talking about,
They putting them in the roadway?
so, I experienced it on First Street and took pictures and
Does it have-
actually sent it 2 weeks ago, because when you looked out, half of them was in the road, the rest was thrown. You could tell it was somebody new that was on this route. So they have addressed that issue.
Yeah, because it looked a whole lot better.
So I did.
I spoke with him at the convention too.
With the tree service, is it the same price that we got last year, or we got any different?
I hadn't used them since I've been here. I'm going on 3 years this month being here. I hadn't used the tree service for that particular. That was done, I think, if I remember correctly, maybe 5 years ago. Last time when they had them, you know, all the canopies kind of lifted up. I really don't know what the pricing was of that. But we have.
I'm on this trimming trees around, y'all doing that, or we still got the tree service?
We have as part of our budget, we have the tree service actually doing that project for us, cause we don't have the property
But
equipment.
it's still the same price, we didn't have to do no rebidding on it, or it's the same?
Yeah, it's a service, yeah.
Cause I just, I know that was a year ago. We did it last year. No.
So. All right. Any other comments or questions on? Public hearing and action on introduced ordinances, none. Introduction of ordinances. Committee reports, finance, need a motion to pay bills found in order.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Kelly, seconded by Abad. All in favor? All opposed? Are there any questions on the monthly budget to actual reports? Hearing none. Police.
I just wanted to tell y'all I only got 2 guys here, but I've told them before, I'm extremely proud of the way they handled the investigation in July. And several things, we had a pretty busy month with some cases. And just want to recognize the guys and ladies that worked for me. They kept it together pretty good and did a very good job investigating that. We actually had an incident on the highway that involved someone we know well, that it was a medical incident, and it was brought to me by several people that Addis police got there and basically started life-saving measures and whatnot very well. So we have been going through first aid training every 2 years, and it proved training is good. Unfortunately, the person ended up passing, but they did get her back for a brief time. But I just wanted to commend my guys, Sergeant Cipriano, I know was one of them. They did excellent.
I got some of the same comments.
Yes.
And thank you for bringing that up, because that is something, and I still would like to go through the trainings when y'all do that, to be a part of it, because I mean we deal with the public all the time too as well. So, but thank y'all. And
we had our yearly Evo training, the emergency vehicle ops, that was in July. And everything, from what I was told, turned out well. Very good training. So.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
personnel, sewer, drainage, buildings. I'll say, let y'all know we did finalize the purchase of the David house today. It is now the town of Addis. So we do own the 2-story property right here.
What we gonna demo it?
Well, both of those houses I would like to try to get.
Demolition.
So if I mean if that's an item that y'all wanna pursue right now, y'all can, I'd say, authorize me to.
Do we have we have something with associated with this in our budget, right? So
Well, we in our capital outlay, we do put lots of money, not lots, but some money in there in case we have different things that we have money within the budget that we could always move around if we had to. So yes, we would have money in the budget to.
we would solicit some bids.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I see no problem. Let's get to moving so we can start having the discussions of. Now we finally have like parking. So once we can get that finalized, we can really start picking this back up.
Do they have any outside, like the air conditioning units or anything like you could?
Oh, yeah, like scrap.
We gonna look and see what would those type of things, and within our houses, there's not much at all, and a lot of that's gonna be old,
This one
but.
right here didn't seem like it. when I
This is
passed over.
gutted.
Yeah. Right.
That house is so old.
Yeah,
I
that,
think we can retain.
So if we surplus something, we gotta
I mean,
bring
like
it back to
scrap metal or
the,
whatever.
yeah.
And we had Timmons built that house before we were born.
So, I guess,
So could I make a motion to authorize you to solicit bids? Okay.
do we have to add that item to the agenda, or it's under this?
I think it's as long as there is some indication that you're gonna be talking about buildings, I think you're fine.
Okay,
The council at any point can express a resolution. You're not actually expending any money, you're not allocating
No, we're
money, you're
soliciting
just
bids,
saying,
right?
here's what we'd like for the mayor to do. You can do that anytime.
Okay, so I'd like to, make a motion to allow the mayor to solicit bids for the demolition of the 2 properties, adjacent to the town hall.
got a motion by Bernard, seconded by LeBlanc. Any comments from the audience? Council, any other discussion?
We'll probably have to bid them like two separate addresses.
Why?
Can't
It's
bid it as
probably
one
cheaper
job.
to do one.
Do it as one job?
Yeah.
And you make
'Cause-
specific note for, they're pretty old, so they're gonna wanna check for asbestos. Make sure you don't
All
have
the
to do
bids
it.
I have done, every address is separate.
Well, you don't
That's
have,
FEMA.
you wouldn't pay 2 mobilization costs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Share the same dumpster.
I,
So
I,
close, I mean.
I would say you do it together. FEMA probably has their own regulation about doing individual properties.
long.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Alright, so we got a motion in the second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Streets and roads? On the street and roads, I asked the engineer to put a line item. What would be y'all thoughts? You know, a lot of times we talk about, center lines, and, Monahan Street was a perfect example that they put double lines down. What about if we just, instead of putting lines, putting reflectors every so often down the center of the road? Because some of these roads are narrow, and when you put these lines, it's
it
kind
makes it
of,
look narrower.
yes. So
well, do we put center lines on every road?
No, you haven't been.
some of these roads up in this area, we have.
Well, yeah, like
yes.
these, but like our neighborhood roads, we don't.
But it'd be, I think, reflectors to help,
That's fine.
Give them a little guidance.
They've got, thermoplastic pavement lines and markers, but they only got, no, it's a blue one, so that's the fire hydrants.
Yes,
But they do have some pavement marking. I wonder if
They have
that's,
to be white.
what that's for, maybe at the railroad? I see in their cost estimate, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think that's fine.
okay. I just wanna, just get y'all opinions on that.
I mean, it's probably cheaper than striping the whole road anyway.
And
But
then
it
this,
is-
the reflection at night would
Yeah.
at least show the center of the road, so.
Okay.
Any other thing, streets and roads? No executive sessions, any other business?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion by Parrish, seconded by LeBlanc. All in favor? All opposed?
That's crazy.